Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to this channel, my name is Frank Zhu and I'm a college professor teaching sociology, history and philosophy. I'm also an award-winning landscape photographer. As you already know from the title, today I'm going to talk about capitalism and socialism. But this is not my first time to talk about these two systems. If you remember, I made a video not long time ago explaining and comparing these two systems. If you missed that video, I'll leave a link down below. Please make sure you check it out.
This video is brought to you by Random Thoughts in Philosophy, which is one of the books written and published by Professor Frank Zhu and which is available on Amazon.
Today, I'm going to look at them from a philosophical point of view. I'll discuss their differences in three aspects within social and political philosophy. First, what is the relationship between individuals and society in capitalism and socialism? Secondly, how much freedom or what kind of freedom do individuals enjoy in either of these two systems? Finally, how much equality or what kind of equality there is in either of the two systems? Today's video will be a short one, as I'm not intending to elaborate on these points. If you want me to talk more about these points, please do let me know. Capitalism, which is also known as a free market economy, started in Great Britain towards the end of the 18th century at the height of the Industrial Revolution. It is now the dominant economic and political system in Western countries, with the United States being the biggest capitalist country. On the other hand, socialism, which is also known as central command economy, was founded by Karl Marx in the mid-19th century. Since the time of Karl Marx, socialism has become the major system in countries such as the former Soviet Union, China, Cuba, Vietnam, and so on. As I pointed out in some of my previous videos on philosophy, any social and political system can be analyzed by looking at one fundamental philosophical issue, that is, the relationship between the individual and society as a whole under that system. To put it another way, when we discuss a social and political system, we should first ask a fundamental question. Should the individual's rights be limited for the good of society, or should society's welfare give way to the good of the individual? The differences between capitalism and socialism can be discussed in the same manner. In the capitalist system, the consideration of the individual's interests is essential to all social and economic activities. Most economic decisions and actions are controlled by individual people or the private companies created by individuals. In contrast, socialism places the emphasis on collective ownership of property and the means of production. Public benefits come before individual interests, which can be sacrificed when necessary. Furthermore, we can have a look at their differences in terms of how much freedom and what kind of freedom the individual has in either of the two systems. Social and political philosophers usually divide freedom into two categories: negative freedom and positive freedom. In simple terms, negative freedom refers to freedom from interference, especially governmental restraint. Positive freedom refers to a situation where you have enough resources to do what you are allowed to do. Capitalism represents negative freedom. In a capitalist society, people are allowed to pursue whatever they desire in their own ways. On the other hand, socialism represents positive freedom. In a socialist system, people are provided with housing, health care, job, education, and so on. Everyone, especially the less privileged ones, should have what they need for a living. Advocates of socialism argue that freedom from want should come before freedom from interference. In other words, according to this argument, no one can have real freedom if they don't have basic material possessions. For example, you can't do whatever you want to do if you are left alone in a desert island where there is no food. In addition, the differences between capitalism and socialism can also be discussed in terms of equality. In capitalism, everyone is said to be equal in the sense that he or she has a right to equal opportunity. Advocates of capitalism often use race as an analogy. If everyone starts at the same time from the same place, everyone will have the same chance of winning the race. It is what they call equality of opportunity. But of course, not everyone will win, and that is known as the inequality of outcome. In socialism, more attention is paid to the equality of outcome. That is why socialist notion is sometimes referred to as egalitarianism. According to egalitarian ideas, everyone will earn more or less the same amount of money, no matter if you are a medical doctor or a cab driver. Therefore, the debate of capitalism versus socialism is actually a debate of equality of opportunities versus equality of outcome. As two different systems, capitalism and socialism drew much attention during the Cold War years and created a debate of capitalism versus socialism among philosophers as well as politicians. Though the Cold War ended with the collapse of the socialist bloc, the debate is still going on. However, the current debate is largely domestic, not a debate between countries. It is about whether it is possible to combine and balance individual liberties with a more equal distribution of social goods. In other words, the debate is about whether and how much government should regulate markets. In the opinion of many philosophers, egalitarianism and libertarianism can be reconciled. The successful economic growth of China during the last 30 or so years, according to them, is an example of a good balance between government regulations and individual pursuit of prosperity. Well, that's it for today. As I said at the beginning, I do understand that some elaborations may be needed, but I will save them for another video in the future. If you have questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one.